morning, good evening, good afternoon, you guys. It's your girl Pinky again. I want to share a revelation with you guys that I just received from the Lord this morning. I got up like 12 midnight and started driving, and when I had to I did my 15-minute pre-trip. I went to the yard at the terminal where the trailers are and started looking for an empty trailer. Came across the empty trailer, pre-tripped it out, make sure everything was good, legit on it, and I wanted to send in a trailer message for this empty trailer to be released and assigned to me. Now, that took 2 hours. Now, mind you, I started my shift with 70 on my 70-hour clock. I have 14 hours left on my 70, okay, to drive with. So I'm sitting here hoping and praying, like, okay, I do 10-hour drives a day. I drive for 10 hours a day, and that I'm gonna get as far as I can within these 10 hours, and then I got 4 hours to play with. So I want to wait for 2 hours for this empty trailer to be released to me. Finally, it got released to me. Now, my mistake, I didn't put myself off duty, because if I would have put myself off duty and I stayed off duty for 2 hours, my 14-hour clock would have ticked down for 2 hours. And then by the time 2-hour mark hit, for how long I've been off duty, I would gain 2 hours back. I didn't think about doing that because my mind is everywhere. I'm just ready to go home, get back to Atlanta as soon as possible. So, mind you, I was 3 hours and like 15 minutes away from the shipper. I had to go from Dallas, Texas to Waller, Texas. So by the time I got there and I looked at my 70, I had like 8 hours and 45 minutes left on my 70. So I was like, I am not going to make it to Georgia. I'm gonna have to wind up doing a 34. So I started getting frustrated. I started getting aggravated. So while I'm driving, after I done got to the shipper and picked up my load, and I realized I wasn't gonna make it home, I'm gonna have to eventually do a 34. I don't get any time back on my recaps for today or in 2 days. So I was just like, you know what? At this point, I'm just done, you know. So I was really hoping to go home, not only to spend time with my fiance, but also to handle some personal affairs. And I started talking to the father. I was like, see, every time I have something on my agenda that I want to do, it never goes well. And I'm really trying not to get frustrated. So you say I never come to you and to ask you for your insight on what's taking place in my life at this moment. So I'm coming to you now, and I'm asking you for wisdom and understanding of what's really going on based on this troubling situation that I'm in right now. And he said, what I have planned is that you're not going to make it home. I had this plan all along, basically, he was telling me. And I was like, why? He said, because remember I told you got comfortable, you started leaning more on your fiance more than you was leaning on me? Well, this is all part of my plan. And I don't mind sharing some of this insight with you because you asked me. So, basically, I allowed you to have a setback on your hours so that you are forced to do a 34-hour reset under a load, which I've never done before. I never had to do a 34-hour reset under a load. I allowed this to happen so that you and your fiance have time apart for the moment. Because basically, I'm working on you and I'm working on him. And yes, you planted a seed with him. You did much as you could to nurture it. Now it's time to stand aside and let me handle the rest. And I was like, I understand. I was like, you know what, I'm not even mad anymore. I'm not even mad anymore. I said, so basically you're telling me that, yes, I could love him unconditionally, I could support him, but basically you're saying I'm doing too much, that I'm hindering his growth. He said, exactly. You could love someone so much unconditionally and be there to support them and try to help them to build confidence in themselves, but eventually they're going to start turning towards you for a validation of their worth instead of looking towards the Lord. So he was basically telling me I was overdoing it to the point that I wasn't caring about his well-being. I'm gonna just be honest, because I can't say I love someone enough to say that I care about their well-being if I know I need to stand aside and I witness that I actually am hindering their growth. So, and it was crazy because he texted me later on that day when I told him I wasn't gonna be able to make it, and he was like, you know what, it's okay, baby, I understand, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And he was like, I love you, thank you for being by my side through it all. I'm just so blessed to have you. And I said, I'm not the one you need to be thanking. And he was like, you're right, I should be thanking the Lord for you. And I was like, because to be honest with you, I'm starting to see that in his eyes, you're worshiping me instead of worshiping him, because it's him that put it together. So when the Lord revealed that to me, I was like, you know what, I'm not even aggravated no more, because, or even irritated or just upset, because now I know that you allowed this to happen for a reason, for your will, and I thank you for the revelation. So this is going back to what I said in my last video, that, and also I forgot to mention in my last video, you guys, I'm sorry to be like all over the place, but the Lord just put it on my spirit. Like, remember you said you was going to talk about this. I come to realize, sitting with the Father for the last 2-3 days, just talking with him and just really opening up to him more, that he had me to realize that all of my frustration and impatient, not being content and grateful with what I have and what he is doing for me, is because I was comparing my trucking lifestyle to somebody else's. And what I mean by that is watching videos of people's success and their growth within their journey of trucking. God had me realize that there's levels and there's steps to getting to that point. He said, right now you're at step A. Yeah, they might be at step Z, but you don't know what levels and trials and tribulations they had to go through from B, C, D on down to Z to get there. You don't know if they had to be up 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning crying their eyes out, wondering how they're going to make it. Lonely nights, troubling nights, nights where they weren't making anything at all, wondering how they're going to be able to sustain their equipment. You don't know what these people went through as far as blood, sweat, and tears to get what they are. So yeah, you wasn't witnessing their process. You witnessed their victory, their success. See, they didn't record all of the issues that they went through to get where they are right now. All they're showing you is what they have. So God was like, why are you comparing your journey, your purpose to someone else's? And that's where your frustration is coming from. You wasn't created to follow everybody else's dreams. You wasn't created for your journey to be similar to somebody else's. Yes, it's nice to have those things, and I know you want those things, but your fruits from your labor is not of this world. And when he said those words, your fruit from your labor is not from this world and is not of this world, that just basically just stopped everything that I was feeling. And he told me, he was like, you asked me multiple times, Lord, why am I here? Why am I driving this truck? Where are you taking me? And what did I tell you? I said, you said to trust the process. You said, do you trust me? And I said, yes. And he was like, trust the process. And I was so amped up of wanting to know what it was, and didn't know that he already put me on the path to come to find out what it was. And I'm coming to understand that my journey in trucking is not to gain fame, to gain fortune, to gain the lavish things. My purpose on being on this journey in trucking is I'm going to travel to so many places, and I'm going to come across so many people, and I'm going to touch them in so many ways, and God is going to put me in position to be right there to do it. And so he's using me according to his will, not my own. And I had to learn that he was showing me this the whole time, but I was so caught up in what I want to do. But at the same time, I'm asking God to guide me, to lead me, to help me understand, to mold me into what he wants me to be, to help me to live my life to the fullest according to his will. And didn't know I was asking for these things that he already gave it to me. It's for me to walk into them. So I had to learn to stop comparing myself and my situation or my career in trucking, most definitely, to everybody else's, because you don't know what their purpose is. But most definitely you need to sit and find your own. So I had to apologize from the bottom of my heart, like, again. And I know I'm recording this message like, dang girl, you don't apologize so many times, but it's true. Like, everything I'm telling y'all, it just happened in the last couple of days, hours, minutes, like all in this week of 7 days of trucking. Like right now I just started my 34-hour reset, and within these 7 days he has shown me and revealed to me everything that pertained to my frustration, my irritation, me not being content with my situation, like, because I'm watching everybody else's growth and I'm watching everybody else's journey instead of focusing on and being in my own lane. Because where he's taking me is for me. It's not for everybody else. It's not meant to be the same, because he made me different. He made me unique. And so why would I want to be compared to somebody else? Why would I want to be like somebody else? So he had to check me on that. So that's why I said in my last video, stop trying to ask everybody's approval or, you know, information on something. Go look for yourself. Find out for yourself. And number two, stop being in a rush to move from one company to the next because your money's not looking right. First of all, it goes back to how long you've been with the company. You have to show yourself approval. Like, you have to show them your word. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I first started, I started with 21 cents a mile, and my check was the lick of shit. It wasn't nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I kept grinding. I kept grinding. I stayed persistent because my trainer put in my mind that you got to crawl before you walk. You got to get where I'm at. He said that's why a lot of people don't tell you how much they're making, because all of a sudden it's going to be like, oh, I want to make how much you're making, but baby, you just got your CDLs. You haven't even learned how to properly use the equipment yet, or how to back up properly. You still learning. You still in your first year. You only been driving 3 to 6 months. You still got a lot to learn. And if God put you in that place, be content, because he's not going to move you until he feels and sees that you are ready. God works on his own timing, not on ours, for one. So he had me realize that, yeah, I'm not ready to buy my own equipment. Yeah, I'm not ready to go to the next level, because he had just revealed to me that you still got little kinks that you need to work on, and it's internally. It's not externally, it's internally. Because when I really look at my situation, like I said before in my last video, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. I'm actually blessed, really, to be honest. So he was like, be careful what you feed yourself, what you watch, what you listen to, because it does influence you in a way. You're basically planting seeds that are not for you, that serves you no purpose. And then you wondering why you're frustrated. Because I kept asking her, like, I don't even know where all this frustration coming from. I'm just so irritated with it all. And he just told me what it was and how it all started. So, ask God for clarity and wisdom and understanding, and to give you a clear vision of what's taking place in your situation. Whether it's trucking, whether it's your just a 9-to-5 job, whether it's in your relationship, whether it's any aspect of your life, your finance, 'Finance, whatever. Ask him for, just a clear understanding and wisdom of what's going on. Step back from your own perception of what's going on, because he had to teach me that I'm just trying to get you out of your own beliefs and your own perception of what you see, because like it does say, my thoughts are not your thoughts. How I see you is not how you see yourself. So I'm trying to get you out of that mind frame. But if you lean on me and turn to me and seek me first, there you shall find not only me, but the truth, the way, and the light, and the directions that you need to get you where you want to be in life. And plus, he knows your wants and what your heart's desires. But if you're not willing to let go of control and let him take over the wheel and to guide you into your destination, then all is lost, and you will always be walking in a repeating cycle in your life. So I'm sitting here on this 34, and I asked him before, and I'm gonna ask him again, whatever this is you have planned behind this situation, I'm going to stay still. I'm going to be content. Yeah, I would love to be home, but if I was never far away, 800 miles away from home, I would have never received this information, because I would have been so distracted being under my significant other and just being comfortable again and under this little spell. Not saying that he's negative. He's not negative, but he's distracting me from what God wants me to see and wants me to understand. So when I do go back home, I know how to handle my situation the right way when it comes to my significant other. I know that I don't need to put too much into it, because God doesn't want us to get comfortable, because when he's ready for us to move, we should be willing to let go. If we get comfortable with him putting us where we are in our life, and he eventually tells us, okay, it's time to go ahead and pack your bags and get ready to move to the next level, I'll be waiting outside, and you like, but I don't want to leave. I just put so much investment into this. And we talking about apartment, you guys. Just an analogy, you know. But if you're not willing to let go of that apartment and follow him, you don't know what might be right around the corner that he has for you. So I even told my significant other, I love you enough to say that whether we together for a lifetime or just for a season, I want you to learn something from this. Because I pray that you being a part of my life or playing a part in my life, it helped you open your eyes to see that there's more to life than just you existing. Like, you don't know what God has planned for you. And I just want you to be where God wants you to be in your life. I love you enough to say that, because you never know. My fiance might be in my life just to learn how to genuinely love someone, how it feels to be genuinely loved by someone, or how to love someone genuinely, or how to become a better provider, more of a man overall. You know what I'm saying? Just everything that he ever wanted to be for the woman that God has planned for him in his future. I was loving him for my own selfish reasons, and I didn't realize that until God revealed it to me. And I had to apologize to my fiance. It was like, sorry for loving you the wrong way. I thought I knew what true love was, but I didn't. So if God can teach me what true love actually is, and now he's teaching me how to get out of my own beliefs of what's going on around me, I can only imagine what he can do for you guys. Like, you don't have to be frustrated alone. He knows your frustration. He knows what you're dealing with, especially if you're a trucker like me. But you can't do it by yourself, and you're not always going to have the answers for yourself. And people around you that you believe have more experience than you will have the answers. Because, like I said before in my last video, it might have worked for them, but who's to say it'll work for you? You know, I have a good friend that I met off of YouTube, and she's like a sister to me. And what stood out to me when we was having a conversation, she was like, she felt that her spirit was nudging her to leave the company that she currently was working for, but she chose to stay, even though she was looking up other applications for another trucking company. But I guess instead of listening to her tuition, God allowed a situation to happen to where she lost her job with this trucking company. And she was like, before this happened, I knew it all along. And I was like, why didn't you just listen to your intuition when God put it on your spirit too? And she was like, I wasn't sure. I said, well, you live and you learn. We all learning. We're not perfect. I'm not always going to have the answers, for everyone. But what I can say, everything that I say is true. And it's happened right at that moment, and he puts it on my spirit to share. Share with the world what you learned. Share what we just talked about. Because for some reason, I know it's going to relate to so many people that's been going through this repeating cycle in their mind. It's just like everything's going wrong. You try to do everything the right way, and for some reason, it just don't go how you expect it to go. But everybody else that don't care about nobody but themselves, living a life a certain way, everything's working out for them. But for you, who wears their heart on their sleeve, you respect and love others, you go over and beyond for anyone, you love people more than you love yourself, things just seem to go so freaking sour for you. And they say it's so easy to do wrong and it's so hard to do right, because when you start turning around and going in the actual right direction that you need to go, that's when things around you start to crumble and it feels like everything is falling on you and you're getting overwhelmed. But it's to stir you back the opposite direction. But if you keep moving forward and you keep pushing through, no matter what the world throws at you, I promise you, it's gonna get better. It sounds easier said than done. Trust me, I go through it every single day. And I promise the Father I'm going to stay on the path no matter what I'm dealing with. No matter what. I'm not going to get comfortable anymore. I'm not going to sit there and just get comfortable in one position that he put me in, because he did tell me I'm going to have you all over the place. I'm going to have you constantly moving. Like, let me tell you guys, I've been like working for 7 days straight, right? And I'm probably get like 4 hours sleep tops from each shift. Like that day I recorded that video, I was so tired and I would toss and turn trying to sleep. He was like, nope, get up. I need you to do this. I need you to do this. And it's like, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, like before, I wanted to press record and record so bad, but my body was like, nah, we'll do it next time. And it never happened. It never happened. I'm not going to lie. It's been so many times I was supposed to do this, and I just been putting out to the side, like I'll do it later. I ain't got the time right now. And then all of a sudden, my fiance loses his job, things getting slow with the company, just all type of stuff. And I'm just like, oh my freaking God, what is going on? Well, baby, because you're not doing what I asked you to do. And now it got to the point that you put your trust and belief and faith in a man instead of me. Like, I have a problem with that. And he let me know, like, I'm really upset with you. Like, you just really showing me, like, I don't matter. And I was like, no, God, that's not true. And I was like, it's not true. I'm so sorry. So you can't sit here and pray to God like, Lord, bless me with this, bless me with that, but you don't want to sacrifice yourself, put yourself on the line and your will on the line for him to guide you in the right direction. Like, but see, and then get to a point where he do bless you with these things that, oh, I don't need you no more. Because I ain't gonna lie, I went through that little phase. I'm not gonna say I am not a saint, okay? I done it. I done did it before. Like, okay, I'm good now. I done done it in trucking. I'm not saying I totally put him to the side, but it's just like, I ain't have time right now. Even when he puts something on my spirit, or I see a sign or a message, or somebody comes deliver a message to me, I put it to the side. because I had my own personal things I wanted to do, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm starting to notice that when I was doing that, I was becoming more aggravated, more frustrated, more overwhelmed. And I mean, everything was good, y'all. Like, I was making good money, but gradually and slowly that stuff started to dwindle. And I was like, he had to remind me, for me, and this is only personal for me, I'm not speaking this for anybody else, okay? But for me, he didn't tell me that it's gonna seem like you're getting paid breadcrumbs with the company, but I'm going to show you it's not Werner that sustains you. But he was showing me that the most important part of being in trucking is not about the money. It's about his purpose being fulfilled. That matters more to him than money. And he was letting me know, I'm always going to sustain you. I ain't bring you this far to just let you suffer. But you asked me why you're in trucking. And I've been trying to show you the whole time. I've been trying to speak to you the whole time. But your mind was just talking so freaking loud that it drowned my voice out. So you couldn't hear me. And then you just got trapped in your mind with these thoughts of just restlessness, aggravation, anxiety, and frustration because you're not where you want to be in your life. So you just allow everything around you to influence you in a way that you felt like you just needed more. I want more. But that's not what I put you in the truck for. Stop taking what God gave you and using it for your own personal reasons. Because he's going to still give you what you want. He might not give it to you when you want it. But who's to say you earn it right then and there? Who's to say you ready for it? How can he fill you up if you still hold on to things that no longer serves you? How can he fill you up or mold you or change you into who you are designed and created to be in this world if you're going to hold on to old baggage, old habits, old beliefs? How? How can he train you if you don't want to be trained? How is he going to teach you if you don't want to be taught? And I had to learn that. And we all have to learn that. But he loves us and respects us so much that he gave us free will to decide which path we want to go. Who are you trying to prove yourself to? Why do you feel like you need so much and want to gain so much and want to have so much? For what? To prove to who? Yourself? To the world? Who? Like, what makes you think that you deserve that? What makes you think that you are ready for the increase if you can't even accept the minimum? If you can't even accept the minimum, then you're not ready for the maximum. He's like, wow, you came a mighty long way from nothing to something and you can't even accept that or be grateful for that. Wow. And you feel like 2.5 years is enough time to say that I'm ready to go to the next level? Okay. Why do you feel that way? And it got to the point that I was asking him questions and he was answering with the question. And I was like, oh my God, why do you do that? Why do you do that? Because I'm trying to get you to ask yourself, why do you think you're ready? Like my fiance said one time, like, I'm ready to be married. It's been 10 years, I'm ready to be married. Okay, so if you're wholehearted, and oh, I bless you with a woman that is whole, what makes you think that she is worthy of having a man walk down the aisle with her that is not whole? Do you love her enough to make her go through that? He just got quiet and was like, I was like, because you don't even open up to receive me. Well, I'm not used to. I said, You can't keep coming up with that excuse. We've been dating for a long time now. And that's your problem. You're not used to, because you never had. But even how you know you got it? Well, I know because it feels different. That doesn't matter. Wolf come in sheep clothing and make it feel different. He couldn't give me an answer. And I was like, God's still working on this. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm ready to be married. Because I told God that I'm a Proverbs 31 in progress. That's what I want to be. A Proverbs 31 woman. And I'm going to allow you to mold me into one. I want to be a better wife, a better mother, a better woman of God, a better human being. I just want you to make me all over. And I can't ask for these things and I'm not willing to let them in. So I had to get on my knees for that. and ask for forgiveness for that. Because he said, be careful what you ask for. You might just get it. And it might not be in the way that you expect to be. But I'm not going to keep this video long. I just wanted to share a revelation with you guys. I hope you guys are being safe out there. Having a wonderful and blessed day. Be prosperous. Stay positive. And I will see you guys in the next video.